Very nearly. All good. Good morning, Julian. Good morning, everyone.
Morning, Paul. Morning, everyone.
How are we doing?
Well. Again, as we go live with this, Sydney, New South Wales is obviously in lockdown. So thoughts are with all hospitality businesses and families and people as they go through this.
100%. Yeah, very challenging and difficult time. Although there was a bit of positive news, I guess, yesterday from the support side of things. Hopefully we'll find out a bit more later today, or certainly later this week about anyway, which should be good.
So that support notice, Paul, I think I saw you putting on the in the Facebook community and keeping everyone up to date on as that rolls out.
Yes, I have. Yeah, there's been a couple of updates. I think the most recent one yesterday was the collaboration between sort of federal and state government to combine and pull the support package. So, as I find out or as I get notified, I've just registered with Service New South Wales, so I get updates on that. But we'll post that in all the groups and on the GSE Facebook page as well. So if you are in Sydney or Greater Sydney, keep an eye on that, and we'll do what we can to update you, obviously in between our commitments whenever we can.
Yeah, I think from a leasing landlord point of view, I think that's flowing out too. I've seen a little bit of commentary around that, so that's going to be an important piece to the puzzle as people are shut down for an extended period. So I'll send some research as soon as I find it as well.
That'd be useful. That'd be great if you could. Yeah, it's going to be very interesting to see how landlords respond in this instance, with it being a shorter period and obviously less, with the code of conduct, there was a sort of a strong push from the federal government to negotiate and reduce rents. But with this being a shorter period, I think it's actually more challenging for most operators because, you've still got staff to pay, you've got full rent at the moment. And, even though it's a relatively short period, potentially, it's an unknown period, and if you've got limited or no income plus the existing outgoings, it's very, very tough. So as Julian said, yes. Go on, sorry.
Yeah,
Julian.
sorry. No, so quickly on that, it is going to be interesting, and it's going to be a little bit more challenging than what the structure was before. But I think our advice always to any retailer going through it is information is key. So have all your data, have all your data from before and after, and the variances, and make sure you're giving up to date data. That's just a bit of advice we can give. So get ready for that. Start preparing that.
So what does that look like, Julian? What would you? I mean, like breaking that down. What would you? Is that just running your own P&Ls, or talk to your accountant, or what would you do?
Yeah, I mean, I think I would run my own P&Ls on sales data first. I mean, I think if your margin, if you're open or closed, is going to stay pretty consistent during that period, but you may have some losses on produce and the likes. But I would be doing it from a sales metrics point of view. So I would certainly be doing this year versus last year. And probably pre-COVID into this COVID piece, and I would be doing a variance on weekly sales, if not daily, to be honest, because it is a shorter period. So I'd go really micro, and I'd be showing the landlords how far you are down and how you're impacted, and then probably from a P&L point of view, how much money you've lost over that period because of lack of JobKeeper and the like. So there's two folds to it. Sales, definitely, because the landlord will want to look at what your sales volume is down, and then your losses over that period.
Okay, yeah, that's good advice. And that the other thing that I've been doing with clients as well is not just going back over 2020, but back to 2019 as well.
Yeah,
because that's with 2020 that was COVID affected for a lot of people. So I don't know. There's not much clarity at the moment about which period are going to be determined for the criteria and exactly what the criteria are. So that's what everyone's, I think, at the moment holding out for. So it's kind
very
of
valid
good
point
to know. Yeah, with both of those years as a comparison. I've for the moment, what I've done is just done it over the 2 to 3 week period. So looking 26th of June to the 10th of July versus 2020 versus 2019, just to get a gauge and an understanding of whether you might stack up for that benefit or not, and just to know your numbers, so that as soon as those applications open, there's going to be a huge flood. It's good. To be on the front foot, as it was with anything like this, and if you can do it yourself, obviously that's going to be a lot easier.
Yeah, definitely. Okay,
perfect. Okay, well, let's move on from that to the reason for today's live, which is to talk through, I I guess the GSE Hub, what it is, why, obviously why it's important for us, why it's important for you, some of the benefits, and for those of you already inside as members already, how you can navigate the ways to find things, and we'll highlight. I think, Julian, maybe we'll highlight a couple of of the resources and tools inside there as well. So
so
why don't you kick us off with a little bit around the sort of the what and the why of the GSE Hub?
I think for everybody, obviously that are members or that are thinking about becoming members. I mean, the reason that Paul and I, worked together and came together to create this hub and put all of our resources and knowledge into the hub is that we've had experience of opening up venues and owning venues and running venues with none of these resources available, and we understand the stresses that it puts you under, and we also understand the benefits of actually having some structure in your day-to-day operations in hospitality. So we really have, the portal effectively is all lessons that we've learnt from our industry, from our time, and all our knowledge and experience all in one hub and available for the hospitality industry. So that's really why we came together. Paul and I really think very similar in the sense of, hospitality needs services like this, and it's a really, really important industry in Australia, in the world, but from our point of view in Australia, and we just want to be able to ensure that every person coming into the industry is given every chance of success.
Yeah, fantastic. That's I mean, completely echo what you're saying there, Julian. And I think the other thing is that we've both in our businesses have both worked with multiple hospitality business owners and professionals. And I guess the other thing that the hub does is it combines all the things that we've developed and designed and worked with those clients to put it all in one place. So depending on what stage you're at, or what you're dealing with, or what you want to work on at any one time, hopefully there's resources and tools in there that are going to help you to progress your business and your own development, with those things being made readily available for you. So but that, for us, for the why, as I said, as Julian said, this really is about us sharing our knowledge, our network, our resources, and the ways that we work with on maybe a one-to-one basis or individual client basis. This is allowing us to help more people. And in some cases, venue owners that may not want to or may not have the ability to pay the higher one-on-one fees, or the consulting fees, or the elite program fees. This is designed to be an industry-changing resource, I think, to help people at any level and at any stage.
Yeah, really, really good point. And the bonus of it is a lot of the time you get the higher consulting fees. It's quite structured in terms of when you have to do it and how you have to do it and the lock-in and everything. So, we wanted the ability for people to be able to come on here in their own time and go through the resources and the videos and the content when they felt the time was right. So we're certainly here to help. So I think people can contact us. What is the best process? Where is that, Paul? If you have a look at the portal now.
So just in the portal, up the top in the navigation menu there's a few icons there. The little life ring, as you hover over that, you can see that says help. So that takes you through to the support desk. So depending on what your question or query is about, you can just log and it will come through to one of the GSE team, either myself, Julian, Susanna, Jill, Rob, or whoever it might be, in relation to what your question's about. So that will effectively work like a support ticket or an email system. And the other way, of course, is that you will have my direct email as a member, and also Julian's as well. So you can reach out to us by email at any time. Part of the membership, part of being a member inside the hub, is that it's not just about tools, resources, and templates. It's about having access to us and our network whenever you need it. So feel free to send through an email. And of course, and we'll talk about maybe that in a sec, Julian, the different tiers of membership. But if you are a platinum member, you can, of course, book in a one-on-one call to speak to myself or Julian at any time. So several different ways to get in touch, whatever works for you. And as Julian said, you can do any of those at any time of the day. Obviously, we're not going to be picking the phone up in the middle of the night, but you can, of course, use the support desk. You can use email to get in touch whenever suits you.
And we're really encouraging everybody to do that. So, I think back to the first restaurant that I opened, and standing in front of the restaurant with no systems, processes, or suppliers. And, I think about the ability to be able to have a contact just to be able to go, hey, can you help me here or direct me here would have been brilliant. So we are absolutely encouraging people to reach out. And the sections, I think, of the portal, as you suggested before, Paul, is at any stage of your business cycle in hospitality, there is a section in here that will help you or provide resources that will benefit you and benefit your business. So I think the categories you've got is at the top, you can see start your business. So, that sort of is really where everybody should start. And even if you're operational and you haven't done business plans and defined your concept, if we jump into that category, there's a planning tab that you can go through, and you've got your business plans and your marketing briefs and the like. So if you've bought a business or you're operating a business and you actually don't have a business plan, this document's quite interactive. You can download it and obviously fill it out yourself and keep it on file. But it really is something that is available for each individual business to go through and set what their personal and their business plans are for their journey and to define it and write it down. So I encourage everybody that, if you haven't done this, you should be starting at this point.
Yeah, I think that's a really strong point you made there, Julian, regardless of which stage you're at. Having a plan is important. It doesn't matter if you've been going for 10, 15, 20 years. I mean, having a plan and a goal and a target and something to aim for is extremely important. And also, in the current economic climate with the COVID situation, I was just looking this morning at the break-even calculator, which is one of the tools in here. Yep. If you're pivoting at the moment, if you're changing your structure, so you've got reduced hours, you've got reduced seating, probably like Sydney takeaway only, changing rosters weekly, depending on what's happening, then it's really important you understand the break even, and that's something that's part of the resources in the hub, but also should form part of your business plan as well. You need to know the financial side inside out. So
so within that business plan, there's a financial section which will lead you on to actually creating your break even and then your P&L. So this prompts you to do to set that up and to go and do the work. It's like a concept plan. So in this planning section, we've also got a concept plan guide. I'm really big on this because I think at times people can get lost actually to what their business is. And I'm a really big advocate on, what do you do different than somebody else, or what product? I love when you walk in and you've got the best vanilla slice in Eastern Beaches of New South Wales, or I love vanilla slices, but I think doing something like that really makes you stand for something. So it also then
that identity is really important, isn't it? So people know, and what it is, like you said there, that your point of difference, what makes you special, what's it all about, and I think it's quite common for people just to get lost and for it to become beige, and you're doing the same as everybody else. Why should people come to you instead of somebody else? And also it has to be clearly communicated. I think I'm just thinking about a client that I worked with who had a fantastic restaurant, a big fit out, really looked fantastic, this place. It had a really good menu, very nice food, but the logo and the communication wasn't clear. So
it didn't connect.
People didn't know what it was. They didn't know what style of food it was. The logo didn't really make any sense. The name didn't make any sense. And it was very difficult for people to understand, should I cross the threshold and go into this business or not? And in most cases, people, if they're worried about things like that, won't. So I think that's a great point, Julian. Point of difference, clearly communicated, very, very important. And that business plan, as you said, as a focusing tool, is a great way of doing that. It just prompts you to go through and do those things that maybe you don't know, or you've forgotten, or you haven't ever thought about. So great advice.
So 100%. And some of the best in the industry, grilled healthy burgers. You know what it is, right? So I think that their message is really clear. So take the time to go back, even if you're 5 years in your journey and you haven't done this and you've lost your way a little bit. Take your time to go back through the planning tab in the GSE Hub and maybe having a look at all those documents. So maybe we'll jump into the break-even point and maybe the KPI. So
yeah, sure.
Where that sits.
So yeah, the KPI dashboard. Again, that's under Run Your Business.
Run Your Business.
It's under the financial section. So at the moment, you can see I'm in Run, and then there's different sections there: planning, financial, and employment. And I'm inside financial, and this one is the KPI dashboard, which is a very useful tool.
God, if I had these tools when I started, this is amazing.
This is I designed this one. It's not reinventing the wheel. It's basically a spreadsheet that we've created. The idea with this gives you a very visual representation of how you're doing with your key metrics in your business at any one time. So it's designed to be able to import the data from Xero or MYOB. You just export that in a CSV format. You make any changes you want to. Literally copy and paste it into this spreadsheet, and then that throws out the what you can see on the screen here. It shows you how your sales are tracking month by month. It shows you how your sales are tracking versus last year. Where's your margin? All the real key metrics. It's going to demonstrate and show you exactly how your business is performing. So one of the useful tools in the Run Your Business section there. I know that's one of your favorites, Julian.
Do you do that? Do you do that with your clients? They're filling that daily and weekly.
We do that. So with the one-on-one clients, we typically have fortnightly calls, and before each call, either they will set this up. Their bookkeeper will do it. So we obviously give them access to this and show them how to do that. Or with some of them, I do it for them. So with some of the people I'm working with on Exit Consulting, I'll actually do that for them, and I'll present it back to them. So either way, whatever works, really.
Yeah. So this is a really valid point. So you've gone back and you've done a business plan and a concept plan, and you're starting to really define and understand who your customer is, who your target market is. Then measurement, when I look back at the history of my journey in hospitality, one of the best things we did do once we started to get our systems right is measurement of obviously your business. So we would go over we'd close on a Sunday night, effectively close the week off, and then on a Monday go over all of our venues. So we had multiple venues, and we would literally count. We'll go through every single invoice and purchase to make sure we were charged correctly and we were delivered the correct stock. We would obviously count all our money and look at our credit cards and balance our tills. And then we would look at all our wages and costs and the likes as well, and go through all of that on a weekly basis.
Once a week.
But we'd be building it during the week, if that makes sense. So on a Wednesday, we might grab all the invoices and check out where we are for the week. So it's something that is almost daily, Paul. We had multiple venues, so we did have to go around to multiple venues, but you can do it daily, but it ends up when a hard and fast close for the week. What are my cost of goods? What are my wages? What were the sales and the likes? And it's I can't emphasize this enough in hospitality. It's such a good discipline to do this weekly. It should be on your weekly.
You know what? Yeah, I was just thinking that, I operated, and I think there's a lot of parallels between the way we operated our restaurants and cafes, but I did exactly the same thing, and it was a weekly process. And it becomes a habit, and it's a habit that, in GSE, I still do that weekly. So weekly, I record everything that's come in, everything that's gone out. I transfer the money for the GST. I transfer part of that to profit. That's just a really good habit to get into, and it's something that carries through with whatever else you do in life. It's extremely important to set those good habits. And I'll even do that. I work on the Kaizen principle as well with GSE, in that continuous incremental improvement. So I'm tracking multiple KPIs, multiple figures, and some of them might be different to what you would have in a restaurant or a cafe, but the principle remains the same. I'm looking to every month. I'm looking to improve slightly, even if it's 0.5%. There has to be a slight improvement. And I think, like you said, going back to what you were saying about the business plan, just the process of actually following a documented procedure for yourself is a great discipline, and it just makes you focus on those numbers. And typically, as they say, what you focus on generally improves. I've really noticed that with my business and with my clients' businesses.
That the becoming a habit, and I think the scary thing, or the thing that we see with clients that we work with, is not knowing where you are is the scary thing. So if you know where you are, you can make educated decisions and make decisions quite early in the piece. The thing about hospitality, it's so dynamic. So you can change your menu overnight almost. You can put in specials, higher margin products. You can focus on sales of beverages, and it's really dynamic. So if you kind of know where you are and you're having a bad week on a Wednesday, and you kind of know that, and your numbers will tell you where you're at, you can pull back on purchases, or you can say, hey, you know what, we've got to have a really good weekend to hit our break even. Let's go on an add-on sales campaign and try and sell 2 drinks or 3 drinks. And
it's so true. It is a really very, very strong point. And again, like even now, I always did that, and I still do it. So I think that's a parallel again with us, is that we actually practice what we preach. So all of these things that we're suggesting, and all of these things we're working with clients, are things that we actually do on our own businesses as well. And I very much do that. I've got a budget, a target for the month, for the quarter, and I know what I need to do. And I do that weekly. I'll look, how am I tracking versus what I need to do? And it's shit, I'm behind. What can I do? I need to bring some more in. So as you've said, Julian, like that whole thing about, not knowing where you're at is a nightmare. And I got caught up in that in early stages with my first cafe. I was ready to take over the world. I was 23. I was, I created something from nothing that was reasonably successful fairly quickly. I was very fortunate in that respect, but I got obsessed with turnover. I got obsessed with how much money I was bringing in. And I set myself a very aggressive sales target, which I hit. And at the end of the year, sat down with the accountant, almost expecting to get a pat on the back and a gold medal. And he told me that I'd lost money. I'm like, what do you mean? And that was only at that point you realize that actually, unless you're focusing on those key metrics, the vanity stuff, as in the sales, means nothing. So having a process, a system, and this kind of tool, and a bit of accountability doesn't go amiss as well, can make a huge difference.
Yeah, definitely. So I saw something the other day. Sorry, just quickly, I was going to read it because I think it's really appropriate. So it was just something on social media. So turnover is vanity. Profit is sanity. Profit is sanity, but cash is reality. And so turnover of I did this much, but I made no money. Well, who cares? If we look in this section here as well, big passion of mine is I think we've got, is the menu calculator in that one, or is that the wage cost calculator there? I can see. Sorry,
no, it's the wage cost calculators in there.
Yeah. So you can run your wage costs and just run that during the week as well. So all these tools are there for all of our members to be able to use and just to be able to give them a little bit of direction as well. So it's absolutely amazing, this information. I wish I had it when I first opened up the venues, that's for sure.
Different world so now, like thinking back to my first, and that's showing my age now, my first venue, it was literally, it was almost cutting edge. You were doing your bookkeeping on a computer.
So you just use the search function there, Paul. That's a good.
Yes. So just up here, just the magnifying glass here. If you want to find something quickly, just click on that. As with any search function, just type in what you're looking for here, and it will show you any resources relating to those things. So, Julian, you'd mentioned the menu costing calculator.
So the menu costing calculator. I think I find that I think you and I both find this, that a lot of businesses haven't costed their menu appropriately, and I think if you're buying a new business or you're implementing a new menu, then this menu calculator is absolutely brilliant. Can be used by your chefs because it's got the function to be able to change kilos into grams and the likes as they go through building their each plate, so they can cost it as a bulk down to each plate. It'll spit out some margins and give you some direction on the margins and the retail price you should be selling at. And this is, if you haven't done it, this menu calculator is available for you to download. And we recommend going through every single item and costing every single item so you know what your margin is. And that way you can know what your high margin products are. And there's a couple of reasons for that. Is obviously you want to push that from a sales perspective because you make more money. But we used to find we had pizzas and we had garlic pizza, which used to cost us 90 cents and sell for $9.90 or $10. If you were having a bad night and you needed to settle some customers down, they're the dishes you want to give away too because they're really low cost, right? So we'd give people free garlic pizzas just to, if we were running behind, we'd give out free garlic pizzas. So there's a whole lot of reasons to use a menu calculator for every item.
Yeah, that's right. That knowledge and knowing, exactly what margin you're making on each thing is important. And it can be that you've got certain dishes, and I've had this with clients working through this, that it's been quite an eye opener to realise that actually they're getting overcharged for things as well. So that process of going through what does it cost for my bacon? What am I paying for eggs? What's milk at the moment? It makes you realize, hang on a minute, he's put the price up. It's gone up by $4 a kilo. What's happening here? So that whole process, I mean, I've seen this reduce cost of goods overall in businesses significantly. And people find that they're being overcharged by their supplier, they're being short delivered by their supplier, or there's too much wastage. So really, a really important process. And again, I guess like you were saying, Julian, with the business plan idea, the setup in the hub basically is going to give you tools and reminders to do things that maybe you haven't done for a long time. So you can use it as a guide to what you should be doing best practice. Naturally, you're going to pick the things that work best for you at that time. But really, it just depends on what stage you're at and what you're looking for. But anything in there that prompts you to take action, to look into the business and work on the business more, I think is a real positive.
Yeah, definitely, 100%. So as you HR, maybe go through some, I think.
So the HR section, is pretty, that's pretty in depth. Yeah, there's a lot in there. Obviously, that is a huge section, isn't it?
Yeah. So I think we did one. Our last live was on a little bit of this processes. On how to go about employing people, and then the processes to implementing the correct documentation. So job descriptions, letter of offers or letter of appointments. Even staff warning forms. And so every single form that you need to manage your staff is available here on the portal. So we did a video previously, so that'll be on the portal as well in the video section. I'm not sure if we got that one up just yet because we only just did it last week. But
I think that one is in there.
That one's live. That one's...
Yes, there you go.
There it is. So
just under interviews and webinars, HR and employees.
Yeah, so every time we do a live stream, we'll put that up there for you to access in your own time. But you can see there's a couple of HR tabs in there that you can go through. So, I recommend going back to that video and having a look. Yeah,
perfect. Okay. In relation to other benefits, Julian, the other thing I wanted to just touch on quickly before we move on to coaching and consulting is the supplier offers. Did you want to just talk through that?
Yeah, this is I'm pretty passionate about this one too. I'm passionate about a lot of hospitality, but what we've done is we've gone to and we'll continue to build this as we each week as we speak to more suppliers. But we've gone out to suppliers in the marketplace. Wow Apps is one. Hungry, which is contactless ordering, is another. Merlot Coffee's got an offer on there as well. So if you're looking for a new coffee supplier, Legal Vision, I think you've worked with them, Paul, previously. They do a great job. M&J Chickens is a national chicken supplier, really consistent in terms of price, sizing, and structure, the way they deliver. They're quite good. And then a point of sale company being Automate is an option for you. So each one of those suppliers has given our members a special discount, and they can be contacted directly, or if you drop Paul and I a line, we can connect you with those suppliers and just to check their pricing, and their product is quite good. We've ensured that their product is quite good.
And that's, as you said, Julian, that's something that's going to be changing, dynamic and moving all the time. And we're going to be adding to that as much as we can. In fact, I actually agreed to deal with another supplier we haven't even had a chance to speak about yesterday. So I've got one more coming on board, which will be added there today. That's EnviroChill, which is a digital remote temperature monitoring system.
Yeah, wow.
A lady called Trinity Bond, who's been a member in both of our groups for a long time, and a very active and supportive member with that as well. So I had a good conversation with her yesterday. So that's an example of the type of thing that's going to be added. And we're really just, we're really just getting going with this now, aren't we? So we'll see this section grow. So keep an eye on it. Inside the members area, keep coming back to this. We will notify you through the private Facebook group of new discounts. But with a lot of these things, even if you access 2 or 3 of them, then it's going to cover your subscription to the hub and some.
Yeah, good point. Really good point.
Pretty good offers there, in that they, everything you get in addition to this in the hub, if you take advantage of a few of these offers, is going to benefit you.
So it's a really good point. I just got to jump in again. The tools and resources within this hub will absolutely help you pay for the subscription in terms of, doing those little things that we've already spoken about. So that's the goal, is for you guys to be able to save money on the processes we provide as well, much more than our subscription. Yeah,
100%. And I think the other thing with that, Julian, that leads into the other part of this is that, these supplier discounts, the access to the network, the tools, resources, downloads, and everything all inside the members area is one part of what we're looking to offer. The bigger part is that it's access to us and to the rest of the GSE team. In that, we are there to support you at whatever level works for you. So that might be on the silver membership, which is giving you access to all of these tools and resources. Or maybe you want the one-on-one stuff where we can book in a call once a month, which would be on the platinum membership.
Yep.
Or maybe you want to go one step further than that and work with us on a one-on-one basis. Whatever you're at, whatever your budget is, whatever your needs are, the idea is that it all fits in around the hub. It all fits in around the resources and the tools. It's not just about, you're not just getting access to a few templates and downloads. You're getting access to us and to our experience and the knowledge. And hopefully, if we can save a few people from making some of the silly mistakes that we've made, then we've done a good job. There's a lot of things I look back on and I think, if I knew what I know now, back then, I would have made significantly more money and probably had a less stressful life.
Yeah, me too. Me too, definitely.
Yeah. So,
all right.
Okay. Perfect. So for those of you that are inside the hub, I guess this is just a quick overview and a reminder of some of the things you may not have found in there already. For those of you that are thinking about joining the hub, then we'd love to have you join us. Feel free to reach out if you have any questions about it at all. Otherwise, you can find full details, information and pricing on the gsehub.com.au, and you'll find links through the main GSE website as well on that.
Amazing.
Perfect. Good stuff. All right. Well, Fantastic. As always, thank you for your time, Julian. Good to catch up.
Thank you, Paul. Good to see you.
Good to chat. It's a shame we have to put a cap on the time limit because
I can keep going.
We could, probably best for everyone. We cut it off.
Yeah, definitely.
Good stuff. All right. Nice talking to you. Thanks, Julian.
See you guys.
Bye.